that we will have eclipsed the all-time high by that date. On that date, it should be higher than the all-time high. But that doesn't mean that on a day before that, it will have not picked it out. You can pick a day and time, go to coinmarketcap.com and go to the Bitcoin entry there, and there's a graph, and you can see every price of every day, and you can subtract 210,000 blocks. But for those who want price predictions, you're not getting any specific. You never get price predictions here. You get more thought-provoking ideas like the 210,000 block theory. And again, I value my wealth in Bitcoin. I'm going to have. I'll guarantee you something. 210,000 blocks from today, I'll have more Bitcoin than I did today. Pound that freaking like button. Because of crypto dividends, obviously. I value my wealth in Bitcoin because I know that in the future, I know we're one day closer to an all-time fiat freak high, but at the same time, I know that it is the long-term money, okay? It is the long-term, and in the long term, I will be able to get whatever I want to with my Bitcoin, and that is how I value my wealth. I want to keep getting more and more Bitcoin. I don't care about the fiat price, what it's going to be tomorrow, if it's going to be 7,700 or 7,600. I know for some people that makes such a big difference in their life. Oh, will it be 75 or 77? I'm gambling everything on it. Ha ha ha. You see, that's not the way you do it. It's a savings account, dudes. It's a savings account. And in this savings account, you're trying to get as much Bitcoin as you can. And your savings account is not in a bank. It's on your Trezor. And so that way you can collect the crypto dividends, the forks. Some people call them forks and airdrops. I call their crypto dividends, their interest on your Bitcoin, and you can turn them into Bitcoin and thus guarantee yourself more Bitcoin in the future. And you're going to want more Bitcoin in the future. And the name of the show is the One Bitcoin Show. So that should be your first goal. Then 2, then 3, then 10, then, whatever is next, 100, 200. Aim high, brothers. All right, pound that like button. I want to give a shout out to the World Crypto Network. I was thinking about them today, and I often check them out, of course. Thomas is the founder. And you think about the alumni, the people who have come from the World Crypto Network, the people associated with the World Crypto Network. Many of you don't remember the World Crypto Network back in 2016. And I had been making videos since 2013. And one in 2013 and a couple in 2014. And then more in 2015. But by 2016, Thomas was doing the Bitcoin group, which was a weekly Friday show where he'd have 3 guests on the show. And I copied it. At the beginning of 2017, I made up something called This Week in Bitcoin. And because I loved the World Crypto, I loved what he was doing over there. I thought it was a great idea. And I thought I could get different guests on. My thing would be I'd bring on different guests every week. He would have a lot of the same guests, but he'd have great guests on. Like Tone Vays was a regular on the show. But guys like Tone Vays, Gabriel Devine, Blake, I've been on there. Obviously, I'm associated with them. Vortex. A lot of people came out of that school of Bitcoin, the World Crypto Network gang. And a lot of different political opinions from there. Obviously, I don't agree with Thomas on a lot of things, and I don't agree with some of the other guys that have come out of there. Some people are more worried about the virus than others, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when it boils down to Bitcoin, the guys that came out of that era of World Crypto Network 2016, 2017, and it's hard for people even to know who those people are now. Some of the people come on my show now. Some of them, I don't know if any of them even come on Thomas's show anymore. On occasion, when Thomas was at Tone's event, everybody came on the show and everything. But some people went different ways, et cetera, et cetera. But these are the OGs. And I'm proud to be associated with those dudes. And you can follow anyone you want to. And I'm not trying to generalize about anyone, but those are good guys. They're my friends. There are a lot of people that came out of that group. And I know I'm forgetting people and people who weren't even on the show that were associated with people who were on the show. It's the OG group. And, you just see all these people out there today, whether they have podcasts, and good for them, people having podcasts and altcoiners having their own shows. But it's kind of forgotten who was there at the beginning. And thank you very much, Thomas. You put together something that was very special, and it cannot be replicated. and it will not be replicated. And well, that's part of life. Life is always evolving. Life is always changing. There were a lot of cool things back in 2007, but there'll never be another 2007 and all the parties and drinking and everything. So that was a bygone era, and I just thought of it. But some of the dudes from that bygone era are still around on Twitter. All of them are still around on Twitter and other shows. And just think about those dudes. Pay attention to those dudes. I think they're very hardcore Bitcoin people. They have very, very strong hands, and some of them take it to an extreme. I mean, in the way they hate upon altcoins and call everything a scam, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's part of the whole aura of 2016, 2017. So okay, there's a little flashback for you there. Let's move on. Pound that like button. So, but I am happy that those are the dudes I'm associated with. But there's other, but there's always up and coming new people, and I'd love to have them on the show too. And they just weren't around back then for various reasons. Some people are younger and older than other people. Okay, now Joseph Todaro, and I'm going to check if you got questions, I got some answers. I better check that over there in a second. I will. Joseph Todaro says, I keep hearing certain people say that everyone should put 1% of their net worth into Bitcoin as a hedge. I'm always surprised you can advise people to take such a high risk gamble with the other 99%. Ooh, pound that like button, dudes. That is a great tweet. Retweet that thing. I did. Okay, so let's talk about buzzwords in altcoin land, okay? And lack of fundamentals and how it's a big gambling, and people pile into the altcoin flavor of the month and some of the top tier altcoins too. So Ethereum, the Ethereum 2.0 buzzword, it's good marketing, okay? It's marketing that works. It's a buzzword though. It really is a buzzword. When they change things over there, is Ethereum going to be better? Is proof of stake better than proof of work? No, it's not. But do people care? No. People care about cool 2.0, okay? And they don't care about the technicals. No, who cares? It's altcoins. It's Ethereum. It's the next Bitcoin, right? Yeah. The next Bitcoin better have a 2.0. So Ethereum. So here we go. Zach Vol reminds us a new BitMEX contract and soaring Bitfinex long positions suggest increased interest ahead of Ethereum 2.0. And so Zach has an article about that. I don't even care about the darn article, okay? I care about this, that, yeah, people are pumping Ethereum already because they're getting excited about Ethereum 2.0. And they don't know about the fundamentals, because fundamentals don't matter in altcoin land. They don't. A good gimmick like Ethereum 2.0, Vitalik's taking this to the next level. That's good enough. That'll pump it. That'll do it. Ethereum's going up because of that. And so there's some analysis by Zach that shows that, yeah, it is. People are already piling into it apparently. So that buzz will get going. But can you, with something like Ethereum, it's the number 2 cryptocurrency on Earth. So that's a little bit easier to predict. When they come up with their biggest marketing effort ever, that's a little bit more than gambling when you buy it, because you've got a pretty legitimate reason why it's going to pump. And all these people want it to be Bitcoin, the second Bitcoin, the next Bitcoin, whatever. But when we get into other altcoins, okay, you don't know when they're going to have drama, when they're going to have a marketing campaign that succeeds, when they're going to be the altcoin flavor of the month. It is pure gambling in most of. When you get into third tier altcoins and stuff, you can't guess that. It's gambling. That's all it is. So what I noticed today, and I'm going to tell you about the fundamentals here. Some of these people don't care about we've talked about Steemit and Hive. Okay. I post my videos on Steemit and on Hive. They are trying to become, the Facebook of cryptocurrency, social media and cryptocurrency combined. And I wish them luck. I also wish Ethereum luck. Great. I wish them luck with their 2.0. That's great. Because as a Bitcoiner, I'm not threatened at all by these. I know that Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. The altcoins can try as much as they want to. They generate their buzz, their gimmicks, their freaks that pile in with the trendies. Good. They'll end up in Bitcoin. In the long run, it hurts. It's positive. They're building. Okay. They're building. And over at Hive and at Steemit, they are building. There's no doubt. They're trying to do. I don't agree with everything that each one's doing, the way each one's going about it, but whatever. I get the stuff for free. Now, I don't know why anyone would buy the stuff that you get for free, because as we always say on this show, don't buy what you can get for free. But Huobi, a Chinese-based exchange, they decide to list Hive. Okay. And not only are they listing Hive, but you have a chance to win your share of 100,000 Hive if you deposit your Hive at Huobi. So sure enough, the price of Hive goes from like 12 cents to like 90 cents. All these people are buying it so that they might have the chance to get free Hive at an exchange. And it's just, it's very impulsive. It's one big gimmick. So I give the dudes at Hive a lot of credit that they were able to make a deal with this big Asian exchange. And I don't think Americans can't even deal with this. They're not allowed to deal with Huobi. So it's like, it reminds me of 2017 a little, when, there'd be a coin would get listed on a pretty big exchange. It would pump. We haven't seen that for a while, but this is a little bit more. There's a gimmick. They're doing a giveaway. And so it reminds me of 2017 also, because it's an Asian-based pump, or outside of the USA-based pump. It's not Americans that are pumping this. This is all these people outside of America in Asia that, let me get my free Hive. Dude, if you want your free Hive, just start a freaking Hive account and post some stuff there, okay? That's what I do. But hey, you want to pump up the value of that stuff? Great. I got it for free. I'm going to get more Bitcoin because of it, because of you freakazoids, all right? But people are buying a coin to get it for free, but they don't care about that. It's a social media coin, okay, that you earn. Those are the fundamentals there. That's the basis of the coin. It's supposed to power a social media platform. But the pump has nothing to do with it being the coin of a social media platform. It has nothing to do with it at all. It has to do with the Asian exchange giving away some of it for free and listing it. That has nothing to do with social media platforms and competing with Facebook and YouTube, et cetera, everything that they market themselves as. So it just shows you the madness of altcoins, the madness of crowds, all right? And then I also noticed that, Justin Sun bought this Steemit, okay? And so a lot of people left Steemit and started Hive, At the same time, there are people who are like, Steem must be dead, because all the people went to Hive, but you underestimate this Justin Sun dude and all the money he's got. So perhaps what's going on also, the Steem-backed dollar all of a sudden started to pump. So maybe some whales or Justin Sun felt they needed to get the attention back on them. So I'm all for an altcoin whale war between Steem and Hive. Let them keep buying their own coin to pump up its value to get attention for it. That's great. We need more of that in the space. Stuff that we get for free, that people start to buy up to compete with each other because they feel slighted that the other one went up faster than they did. Go for it, Justin Sun, and all you other dudes out there, ignoring completely all the fundamentals of what your coin is even supposed to power. But hey, do what you're going to do, people. I'm going to keep getting it for free and turn it into Bitcoin. It's altcoin gambling. I do not participate in it. I just a recipient of the glory of it, okay? Pound that like button. And the only people that receive the glory of it are the ones who don't buy it, are the ones who get it for free, who actually use the platform for what it's supposed to be used for. How innovative. Oh my God, what a rebel. You actually use the platform for what it's supposed to be used for and collect the free tokens that are given to you, instead of going out of your way to go to some Asian exchange to buy some so that they might give you some more for free. Cryptocurrency, guys, the wild, wild freaking west of impulsive 80%ers. Pound that like button where the 20%ers keep on getting richer. I love it. All right, because they value their wealth in Bitcoin. Now, we talked about YouTubers before. I don't want to say YouTubers. Let me correct myself. People who were associated with the World Crypto Network, Bitcoiners. We talked about Bitcoiners that are, been on YouTube a lot, been on podcasts a lot, been on Twitter a lot. Social media Bitcoiners. All right, and maybe that's what you can say they are. Now, there's a guy out there. I mentioned him before. His name is Adam, and he has tried to help me with he did not like that my original channel got shut down by YouTube. He didn't like that. So he's been advising me, he's been helping me, he's been trying to spread the word, and I really appreciate it. He's a nice guy. He's gone out of his way. And he has an article, and I don't agree with everything in the article, but the basic premise I agree with. He says, I wrote a blog as to why I believe so many crypto YouTubers have recently gotten purged. Includes tips on how to possibly stay ahead of YouTube's hyper-aggressive algorithms. Now, one of the things that he mentions is that it's an unthinking algorithm that is just taking down channels. And it goes beyond cryptocurrency, which he does not mention. But it's not just cryptocurrency people that are being hurt by this. But he gives examples of people who've been taken down. So if you want to see who's been taken down and who's come back and who hasn't come back, it's a good resource. Also, he gives tips on like how to avoid being taken down. But his tips are all about how to follow the algorithm. And you know me, I don't play that. I'm no slave to that I am no slave to that algorithm. So some of his suggestions I would never ever do. He's like, well, maybe post every 3 days instead of posting every day. Yeah, whatever. You get a new show here every freaking day. Pound that like button. But hey, he is trying to help the situation. The dude is in motion. I mean, I'll get him on the show one of these days too, because he's a big fan. I mean, he's a big fan of social media. Combined with cryptocurrency stuff. So good for him. That's his article. He's in motion. He's linked to below. I've mentioned a number of times. Let me go to the questions real quick. I'm sorry. The people that I think might be asking questions over there. Yeah, there's quite a few people. Here we go. Christopher Alex says, Adam, any more Bitcoin crypto dividends coming down the pipeline? You'll hear it here first, dude, but you would have already heard it. So no, not that I know of, but if anybody wants to inform me of any, I encourage people, go for it, dudes. If you want to start an altcoin, make sure it's a Bitcoin crypto dividend, that you give it away for free to Bitcoin holders. I will talk about it on this show if you're doing it, and if it's easy and safe to claim, okay? But no, I don't know of any that are coming along. But dude, be a long-term thinker. There will be more. There will be more. And I think it's the best way to start an altcoin. I don't see why more altcoiners don't start them that way. There have been quite some successful ones, as we know. Some that have really freaked the world out too. When certain people, talk about them, have a little note about one and hand it to someone, and then you know the whole drama. People getting sent to Bitcoin inquisitions because they talked about one. All right, now. Bitcoin to the Moon reminds us that this is your home for Bitcoin insider information. And yeah, dude, the whole MWC, that was Bitcoin insider information there. And that paid off very nicely for quite a lot of people, whoever that entity was that was buying it all up, or maybe there were entities. Who really gives a darn? We got it for free, and some freakazoid was buying it all up. All right. Let's get back to, I wanted to talk about second-tier fiat countries. For a long time, I've said the dollar isn't losing its world reserve status, and that people are stuck in the fiat world, that Bitcoin can succeed in a fiat world. It does not have to become the world reserve currency. Bitcoin already is the world reserve cryptocurrency. It's a cryptocurrency that everybody trades into and out of, et cetera, and people value their wealth in it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We know the story. But during all the money printing going on all over the world now, the United States world reserve currency, there's no noticeable inflation yet, and it doesn't. The United States doesn't have to worry about for the foreseeable future major inflation. Okay. And neither do most likely the other. There's some other first tier currencies like the yen and the euro. And then I've talked about, but if you're in South Africa and you're in Uruguay and you're other countries, other third tier countries I keep mentioning. Okay, third tier countries. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I haven't mentioned any second tier countries, second tier fiat countries, and tier 3, okay? Israel, Canada, and New Zealand. All right? So let me tell you something right now. If you're in one of those countries and you're valuing your wealth in one of those currencies, the Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, the Israeli shekel, dude, you're making a big mistake, because if you got those are great countries. Those are great countries. But no, not worth the risk at all. And in those countries, it is easy to get Bitcoin, okay? It's easy to get Bitcoin in those countries. There's exchange, plenty, especially in Canada. So, you're living in a modern country. Your countries they're going to feel the wrath of this dollar printing, okay? Especially Canada, okay? So those are 3 second-tier countries, and I know there are people watching from those countries. Dudes, I know you might need some shekels to have so you can spend on the side. I would not be converting that stuff into US dollars. I know a lot of Canadians like to do stuff like this. This is your opportunity. It's before the halving still. Don't be valuing your wealth in your second-tier currencies. I just named what they were. This is a time for the second-tier currency people to really protect themselves with Bitcoin, okay? Seriously, serious stuff there. All right. And there's a beautiful, perfectly, obviously they're no South Africa. Those are not South African type of countries where you got to fear about your property being taken away and all sorts of insanity. A beautiful country, though, and I love the people of South Africa. But at the same time, your currencies are not top tier currencies, dudes. They're not. Okay, it's just that your countries just aren't that big. Canada is a powerful and rich country, but they're not. They're a little bit below. Okay, they're second tier. All right. So no insults to those countries at all. I don't want to insult you, dudes, but that we're talking money here. We're talking, and that's an important thing. And you do not want to be saving in those currencies at this. If you have the opportunity to get into Bitcoin now, get into it now. Change those things into Bitcoin. All right. So I finally mentioned some second tier fiat countries, which I yet to do on the show, and I should have done a long time ago. All countries I have visited and love to visit, in fact. All right, so we talked about the second tier. Fitting in is overrated. Pound that like button. Strong hand 2024. Might as well. we're only 15 days till the Bitcoin halving. That's linked to below that clock. Don't follow the herd. All right, so going back to altcoins, I should have brought this up beforehand. I'm on Twitter. You see these promoted tweets. I could not, which is an advertisement. A promoted tweet is an advertisement. Someone paid for this tweet to say promoted tweet. And I see one from Ripple. Oh my, how centralized can you get? And this is what it says. We see a need now more than ever to protect our community from dangerous online giveaway scams and fake impersonations across YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and more. So that's their gimmick. We talked about their lawsuit. They're bragging about their lawsuit, that they're protecting people. They think this protection gimmick is going to help pump their coin. And it's all about gambling in altcoin land. So perhaps it will, but perhaps we are living in such a feminized world where people think this is going to be, where people who work at the Ripple company think this is going to help pump their coin. That's how pathetic a world this has become. And I'm so proud that the people I had on my show on Friday, check it out, they weren't part of that world. They're part of the Bitcoin overlay, and they're not feminized like these freaking Ripplers are that need to pay for an advertisement to tell the world that they're going to be the Bitcoin mommy, and that because they're the crypto mommy, that you should buy their coin, basically. And they're protecting you. You don't need protection from Ripple, okay? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, it's supposed to be about being a freaking grown-up. Pound that like button. But Ripple wants to treat you like a freaking infant and say, well, we're suing for you. We're protecting you from dangerous scams that are out there. And you've given us so much money by buying our coin. We can pay for these ludicrous advertisements on Twitter. You never know what you're going to get next in this freaking space. All right. So the great Dennis over on Twitter, he is in motion. He has a new video that involves like video game shooting and stuff. And, if you're one of those guys that likes that, you'll probably like this video that promotes the halving. So halving hype, dude, you got to spread the word about the halving. And all you fiat freaks, I noticed the price went up. Maybe some people are spreading the word about the halving. But Dennis did a good job. I linked to it below. It's a tweet below, link to below. Check it out. You always got to do your homework here and check out the links below. It's not just about watching the videos. It's about understanding them and doing the homework by clicking on those links below. So an awesome dude who might appear on the show one day, he DM'd me the following: Bitcoin is a once in mankind event. Oh yeah. And I told him I'm going to share that on my freaking show. So let's finally get into Bitcoin trading here for all the impulsive traders. As I know there are a few of them out there. There are more than a few of them out there. There were some dudes talking about the fiat price of Bitcoin in a thread that I was sort of involved in. I think I was copied on this thread. People copy me on all sorts of threads on Twitter. Okay, that's fine. And sometimes I usually read the stuff when it doesn't, degenerate into a freaking flame war with curses and such. But these dudes are talking about, how high is the price going to get? When's the price going to get to that point? And then one wishes the other one a trade safe. He says, trade safe. Dude, there's no such thing as trading safe, okay? No, if you want to be safe, treat it as a freaking savings account. And then you don't have to worry about what day it's going to get to 12,222, all right? There's no such thing as that's a nice thing to wish someone trade safe. It's like be safe. But dude, no, there is no trade safe out there. So I want to say there's a mentality out there in this world where people get into trading because they hear about the guy who was part of the 5% of traders who did well. And they see the outlier. They see the outlier and they're like, oh, I can do that. And then you're like, but dude, 95% of traders lose, okay? It's a losing proposition. It's bad, dude. But then he'll say, well, there was that one dude out of the 5%, he became so rich. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to base my decision on the stories, the 5% stories. And of those 5% stories, I'm going to be, the guy who was the true outlier. I could be him. I could definitely be him. And I'm going to make a very important decision in my life. I'm going to base my strategy on untrusted outliers. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to base my total strategy on untrusted, because some of those stories are total lies. I get 5% of traders, they do well, all right? But then you'll hear about, well, I made $1 million. But that guy might be lying. That outlier might be a total, but you totally fall for it because it's glamorous. And so I compare this to the virus people, that the people who are scared. They're scared because of the few percent of people who can get really sick from it, okay? Because they have comorbidities. And then they hear about stories about a kid dying, but it was a total lie. But it was so big, they have to pay attention to it. They have to make their decision based on untrusted outliers. That's just their mentality. So it's an impulsive mentality. It's like you're not doing the research. You're not seeing what is real. And real in terms of the virus is that odds are if you're young and healthy, it's just like the common cold or strep throat, or your people do die of those things. Okay, those things happen. Freak things happen. So some regular dudes that try trading sometimes do make $1 million. It happens. It's a freak thing. But you don't base your whole life strategy on untrusted outliers. Okay, you don't shut down the whole economy based on untrusted outliers, based on the hysteria that surrounds them. But untrusted outliers can generate glamour. They can generate hysteria. They can generate fear. And from people who do not understand the bigger picture. All right. So I thought, I was thinking about that earlier today. I thought I would make that comparison, try to connect Bitcoin trading and the virus. Hey, what the heck else are you going to talk about? All right. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister. Let me check real quick if there are any more questions. Thanks a lot, though, guys, tonight. It's fun. It is very, very, very late in Los Angeles. I will be going to sleep. Today was my sprint day, and I also ran close to 4 miles. So you know, you on your sprint day, you get a little tired. I do want to say on my over on Poinsettia where I sprint, where I do sprint, there were some hot women out there that were wearing some spandex today, and I did appreciate that. I did appreciate, and they weren't wearing masks either. It was good. My sprints were made a little bit easier, and I value my wealth in Bitcoin. But when I see some Asian girl in tight turquoise spandex, you know, it's nice. It's nice to see. Not wearing a mask, it's good. It's good that this world is still normal, and men are still men. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to this channel, like this video. Pound that like button. Yeah, I'll say hi to you guys in the chat right now. Bye-bye.